in human resource module. Basically, human resource is an integral part of any organization, and management of human resource can be very tedious if you don't have a good software to have the data of all your employees. So Microsoft Dynamics has realized this lacking in its product and introduced a fully fledged human resource module along with a payroll module so that you can perform all the human resource related tasks by using Dynamics AX, and all your data are also stored in your ERP as well. So starting with the basic thing, human resource basically consists of workers. So Dynamics AX provide you a worker form which consists of all the information that you need about your worker. For example, let's say I want to add some identification document of my worker like MLS ID, passport ID, and other IDs related information, account information, or driving license information. So this information can easily be stored by defining your ID type here along with the ID number that you want to have it. For example, I can say that my national ID of this employee is 111222 and 333. Along with that, I can also define the agency against which this ID is issued, so that it gives the something concrete to this ID. And I can also specify the issue date of this ID and the expiration date of this ID, so that in case of I need to know when this gentleman ID is going to expire if it is a legal constraint that all our employees should have a valid ID. I can create a rule on it and set it to just simply notify me then when this ID is going to expire. Since it's open first time, so it may take some time. So here I can change. So okay, I can set it due in 1 month, 1 calendar day, or 1 week, or 2 weeks. So as soon as this date come closer, a notification will be issued to me saying that you need to do something about related to this ID. Apart from storing just the IDs, Dynamics also give you whole luxury of storing other personal related information in your AX, so that all the important stuff like the contact, emergency contact, home number, person whom to address to in case of any mishaps or anything, can easily be stored inside the Dynamics AX. We should wait a while because there's a huge amount of data that bring along with opening of this form, as you can see now. Okay, now as this form is open, here you can see that there are many things like this: what is the seniority date of this employee, what title he is looking for, in which office he is currently working on. If you have multiple distribution or multiple department which are locating on different geographical location, you can also specify this thing. Addresses information, you can specify n number of addresses for the employee and make them the primary one, so that in case of any letter or anything you need to issue, you can use this address. Contact information, like this is related to currently it is showing the contact information related to worker, but you can also add the related information like to spouse, like parents or siblings, any other kind of information, so that you like to have it. Then you have all the personal related information like he is married, or what kind of ethnic origin he belongs to, where is the country of birth. So example of like these are like biodata of the employee, and Microsoft Dynamics give you full luxury to store any kind of information that you need to store, like a bank account information, benefits, streaming, loan equipment. If you loan out any equipment like car, mobile phone, laptop, anything, you can add that thing along with the worker, so that all your worker form have all the information what your employee own and everything. Apart from personal information, Microsoft Dynamics give you the luxury to use the same form to store its employment information. When he was first joined, what is the notice period, employee quality, week of notice, how many are there, start date, end date, and also other like leave, how many leave is eligible to. Then the employment detail, what is the pension plan and other stuff like this, which are not used in UAE, but are is there for if you are working in some other country. You can use this information to sort out the thing related to your pension and other stuff. Then you have like if it's a your worker who is standing on any POS system, then you can have all the configuration related to set up of the its time and attendance here. Similarly, the absence code, you can set up the absence group, in which absence group he belongs to, what kind of date absence he can take, how many working hour he can work a week at least. So all the things are defined here easily. As I am defining now, like Friday, Saturday is weekend in majorly in UAE, so you can offer make an offer on this it. Then compensation plan, which kind of plan this this is used to calculate like what are the benefits that you are giving, what are the performance benefit you are giving. So all the information related to this you can store here. And then the payroll information, income tax, if you are running in a country which require income tax, something you can use the income taxation module to go and configure the taxation on the salary that he earned. And then all the other information related to like bonuses, how many salary reduction, retirement fund, wages line, these are all there for human resource to configure according to the business need or the organization that created. On this form you can also see the position on which the employee is currently working on, so that you can get an idea of when he was assigned to his first position, is he working on one position or multiple position. So that can give you an idea of what is the role of his, what are the relationship and the payroll, is there any benefit associated with this payroll. If there is, you can add it here, labor union, stuff like that. In Dynamics, normally the jobs, each job can have multiple positions, but one position can be assigned to only one job and one employee. You cannot not assign one position to more than one job and one employee. The reason for that, the Dynamics AX built their position hierarchy on the basis of position, not on the basis of employee, not on the basis of job. So in case if you add someone to a position, that means you are putting the person in the hierarchy, as I show you here. This hierarchy give you an idea of what I am talking about. This is a very good graphic user interface which allow you to see how many workers are working or reporting to him, or he is reporting to whom. Just give it 1 or 2 minutes more. Okay, now as you see, this guy work under Kim, who is his manager or reporting officer, and in Kim team there are other person as well who are his colleagues who are working in the same team. See, the Kim has so many workers working in his team and he is one of them. So this give you an idea of what is the strength size or how many colleagues do he have for working. So these are very good for as far as human resource is concerned. So in case of promotion and then you can know how many other workers are working on the same level, can be considered as well for any kind of promotion if Kim resign or leave the job, or he may get terminated. Apart from that, you can define your own jobs according to the needs of your organization. So you can have as many jobs as possible, and then you can in each job you can define others related classification, job classifications, and a compensation plan, skills, certification need in order to get hired, education required for this job, job tasks and responsibilities. So it's one time setup. Once it is set up, you can you can assign it to any position, and that position copy all the requirement from this job. So it's not a redundant setup of creating job every time the new employee or new hiring is done. It is one time setup unless you change something in your uh, job description. So here are all the things, the skill needed in order to get eligible for getting this job, or if you are promoting someone, then you can also get a notice of whether he can have this required skills and certification in order to promote it to this job. And then you can create your department and other hierarchy, that how many departments you are working on in. So this give you an idea of how many workers are actually working in your each department and what are their roles and title. Okay, if I want to see the workers department, I want to see the department. You can also create many different type of hierarchy, like budgeting hierarchy, department hierarchy, reporting officer hierarchy, stuff like that. So it gives you an idea of how many workers are in your each department and what are their positions. Like give you an idea of, okay, this client service department is working under this thing, and in each department you can also navigate, okay, how many positions are there in each department and what are their roles and what are. So getting the information of like creating an organization structure is very easy in Dynamics AX as compared to other software where it requires a lot of effort to just to create a Dynamics organization structure. Dynamics also provide you a calendar which give you the roster of your organization. You can create n number of calendar depend on the working cycle of your employee. You can have a shift calendar, you can have a office job calendar, you can have a calendar for sales and marketing guy which don't require to be in the office to perform their job. Like this is a like 24 calendar in which some employee are hired on alternate daily basis or something like that. You can have period types, can define period type, how many periods type can be your or in the system, that employee monthly, sub monthly, some weekly. You can define the period type, based on this period type you can define the your roster or organization calendar which will be using for the payroll. Since there was a big lacking in Dynamics AX related to the payroll calculation, so in 2012 R3 releases Dynamics. Microsoft focused a lot on this area and give you a fully fledged working payroll module for your employee, where you can generate the earning statement of each of your employee, and then later generate the pay statement for this employee. Let's, for the sake of this demo, I'm just using the existing data and not going to set up the whole thing, which may consume like 2 to 3 hours in whole setup of like from start to end, if I go for everything new. So this is like how the pay statement is calculated, the amount is then distributed. You can have the functionality to hold this invoice in case of any dispute or any other thing, and once you release it, this statement goes from here to pay to your like pay from here to your payment statement. From there it goes through the payment. For example, this, let's take this example, take this as example. This is an earning statement that was created for the period of bi-weekly. As you can see that it is a bi-weekly period, and this has these two lines which needed to be there. If you see that there is a benefit line, which other things, since the current version which I am using, it has a taxation and thing, so it also has some taxations which are calculated on the base of that he is getting it. He is not benefit accrual set up for his plan, so there is no benefit accrual. Once the pay statement get calculated, you just have to need to submit it to in order to release the payment of the employee, which goes into AP department. AP module, and from there it is settled out by some bank or cash payment. This depend on the what kind of setup you have done. Either you give your cash to or you want to settle it with a bank check or payment, or you want to settle it with WPS. That is the option that you have it in Dynamics AS to set up to configure the payment of a worker. There are two type of basically worker you can create it in Dynamics AS. One is your employee, which are long-term employee, and one is your contractor. Contractor can be you have hired someone from some other company for a project basis or some kind of this. So you can create them as a contractor. You don't have to create them as a employee in order so that because employee information is retained after it get retired in the past employee worker or past employee. So if you want to do that, you can have this contractor functionality available to get them on board for a short term of time, and then later when the task is over you can release them. Okay, I think till now everything is clear. Now we can go into a little bit detail of like the earning codes, which are the basic components of generating your salary. So this is you can define as many earning code as possible and associate with the employee payroll, so that when the payment is calculated, this will come into picture, and based on the configuration it will be added to the pay slip or and other things. Apart from that, you also have the frequency of pay cycle calculation frequency. You can define your own frequency of pay cycle for first month, how many frequent he will be paid, what are the start and ending dates of this pay cycle. You can define the pay cycle. It will be like weekly pay cycle. If you have something, then you can define a weekly and monthly as well as other cycle in your organization, depend on the need of your business. If I go to the setups of human resource, there are quite a lot of features that has been added to storing thing that are related to your organization, like storing of absence code and absence group. Setups of absence code are also added, so that the attendance is also automatically stored in Dynamics AX, and it is shown so that when the salary get calculated, it is just a click of a button and all the information is already configured or stored in Dynamics AX. So it use that information to calculate the pay cycle of your thing. Apart from that, this attendance can be integrated with any scanning device of thumbprint print or card, so that as soon as he check in, his attendance is marked in and his check out. So if in case of you are paying hourly, you can detect the number of time that he spent outside the premises, another thing. There are compensation plans as well. You can define as many compensation plans. There are fixed compensation plans like the basic salary, like the house allowance, like the traveling allowance, and apart from there variable like other allowance like mobile allowance, like what like dinner and dining allowances for your sales and marketing guy. You can also set the eligibility criteria of the benefits, so that if the employees only get a traveling and dining allowance if he is not in the city. If he is an outside tool, then outside tour for some company business, then he get the traveling the dining allowance. You can set up the whole income tax category here, which is now added, which is a good thing. You can also set up the types of skills type defined according to your organization, education, this thing discipline, degrees, like the everything that you think of, you can store in Dynamics AX, so that all the information are there in the system. So whenever you wanted it, you can have that. For example, take this simple loan items, like you sometimes give laptops, mobiles, cars, etc. to your employee, so you can have a check on that how much this employee own the company property at the time of like termination, so you can get back those things before giving a like clearance letter or anything like that. Then you have like the parameters of Dynamics AX, you can define the identification number serial, that these are the my identification that is required or that need to be submitted as soon as possible. You can have a payroll parameters which define what kind of payrolls should be configured, what are the taxation and other thing engine should be used for the calculation of payroll. Then you have a position tab which will show you where the position can be assigned directly or not directly. You can create position form. It shows you the list of positions that are in your organization. If you want to know how many open position you have, your Dynamics also give you another form which give you how many open position are still in your organization which needed to be get recruited or get hired. So every time a new position is added by the management, your HR manager get a notification that okay, I need to get started and hire someone for to fill that job. Excuse me. As I told you, the position hierarchy in a Dynamics AX, the hierarchy is based on the position. So if this position is not assigned to someone, even then it is showing in the hierarchies. Okay, you need to hire this position and this position is empty. Like here it is showing that this position is empty. From this hierarchy line you can also get a good idea of how many positions are there available for you to recruit. Apart from that, here is the time and attendance management, like calculation, handling, approval. If there are any absent or anything or any shortage of time, it may get into approval before it get into the system for approval. Time and attendance. Okay, so you can directly approve it. Okay, we approval group say. So once you so this now when you approve all the time and attendance submitted to this, now it's posted into your posted attendance system, and for which later will be used by your payroll engine to calculate the salary of your employee according to the benefits or the absence penalty that you have set. And there is another good feature for your employees, the portal, employee portal, which is available on the web. So anyone can, any staff can view it, update the relevant information. There are a couple of features here which are listed here. He can submit his expense report or traveling requisition if you want to. So for example, if your employee is outside in one country and then he is due to some business reason he want to go to another country, he can submit it on the line. He don't have to do call someone or send a mail to HR manager that he need to traveling requisition or expenses for traveling to another country. He can directly do it for there, and this can later be come into HR for approval. You can manage your team and you can manage your absence, registration, electronic time cards, stuff like that. So all these things are available in your enterprise portal, which can be accessed from anywhere in the world if you have hosted on a public IP, and it's really a cool feature here. So I think that's all I have for AX HRM. If you need a detail of any of these processes, do let us know through our mail or support contact mail at our support email address, or by sending a support request to our telephone department, telecommunication department. We will definitely like to give you a video on the processes that you want to have. Okay, take care, have a good day.